PM versus vendor. Team play for success.
I'm Gabriela Coahla and I have been a certified bilingual translator English to French and Romanian since 2010. I consider myself a beyond words vendor and I love being close to my PMs.
I'm Lucia Gutierrez, a localization project manager with almost 10 years of experience. I have worked in many different LSPs with many different hats, but always focusing on project management, as it is the job I enjoy the most.
Hello everyone. Hello Lucia.
Hello, Gabby. Hello, everyone.
We are back with a new episode, and I think the topic will be very, very hot. So let's see.
Yeah, because you remember that we did one episode. It was our episode number 10 about the 10 things we loved about each other. And we named it the 10 things I hate about you, like as in the movie. So this time we decided to do it the other way around. This is our episode number 20. So it's called the 10 things I love about you, but it's actually hate. We're going to give it to you.
Hate is a big word. Maybe you think that we don't like. And yeah, you mentioned movies. We are a big fan of movies, so maybe you've noticed that some of our titles are related to movies. So let us know in comments if you like our titles, and if this is something that sparks an idea when it comes to our references. So yeah, when it comes to things that I don't like in my work, I think the first one that pops in my head is last minute requests. You know,
Obviously.
yeah. I have two situations. One is when I'm working, for example, with a direct client or an LSP, and I'm working almost daily with them, so I know what to expect. I know what to the tool I'm working with. I know the content. So if they ask something very urgently, I think we talked about the urgent deadlines in a previous episode, and check it out because it was very honest episode. Another one. Yeah. So I know what to expect, but then I have another situation where uh, I receive projects maybe once or twice a month, and the PM expects the translation or the revision the same day or the next day. So my question for you, Lucia, as a PM, do you think that we are staying in front of our PC? We are not doing anything. We are just waiting for the project, because I found it difficult when PMs gave us a deadline that is very urgent when they are only contacting us once or twice a month, for example.
Yeah. Well, in my experience, most of the time the PM is more desperate and more stressed out than you in this case, because most likely it's not the first email that they send, because normally urgent requests you send them to your go-to translators, the translators you don't normally deal with. Now, if you receive a request from a PM just rarely, that probably means that they've tried other options before you and they are already desperate when they come to you. So it's not a matter of us thinking that you are waiting, but a matter of, okay, we've tried other options that we are more accustomed to. They didn't work, so we need anyone at this point. I'm not saying you are anyone, okay? But I'm just talking in general. We just need anyone who can do it. And this, I don't know why, especially happens on a Friday afternoon. Don't ask me why, but it's
Same.
Murphy or I don't know, but Friday afternoon, the perfect match for this.
I don't know what to say, really. Sometimes it's okay, I understand, but there are some days that I don't understand. That's the truth from me.
But that's okay. That's human. That's human. That some days you understand, you're more empathetic, and there are some other days that you don't. That happens to me as well. when I send emails and I say, please let me know if this is okay, and I never get an answer.
We talked about ghosting because that was something that
No,
you.
but it's not even ghosting. It's that the translator, for example, you send an email and you say, okay, I need this by next Wednesday at 3 p.m. Please let me know if this is okay. And they never come back to you. So after 2 days, or it depends on how urgent it is, no? After some time, you go back and they say like, oh, yeah, this is accepted. Because they thought in their mind, yeah, this is fine, but they never let you know.
You have to let know. From a vendor side, maybe this is a piece of advice for my colleagues. Maybe allow max 30 or 40 minutes to reply. I know it's fast, and someone asked me how you reply so fast because you don't work. I work, but I realized that if you reply and you show responsibility or you show organization, PMs will love working with you for other projects. So maybe
Yeah, because it doesn't mean that you need to get on it at that point. I just need
exactly.
an answer saying that you will do it at some point and deliver when I need it.
Or if the deadline is not okay, you can ask. I think maybe not 100%, but 90% of the time, I can always have an extension. Really, it happened a
Mm.
lot of times. So yeah, but another thing that I found it very difficult. It's when it comes to complex instructions, because um, they are maybe the project is very small, 200 words. Okay, maybe that will be more like a translation project, but they send so many instructions, and I know you hate when freelancers don't read the emails. We talked about that several times, but sometimes you PM send too many instructions. what
I
what's your
I
what's your
know, but we are doing it as a defense. That's our shield. Because I get a project from a client, okay? And clients, some of them, they are little divas. So they have half page, 300 words for you to translate, but they say, oh, and this needs to be like that, and this needs to reference this other web page, and then the overall tone has to be like this other way. And so it's like, okay, think about it from a sales point of view. Am I going to charge more because their requirements are higher when in reality the task is translating 300 words? You can't really charge more because the client will say like, you're ridiculous. I'm going to another company because nobody's doing that. So that's one thing. Another thing is I need to translate these, well, to translate, not to translate, but to share these with my vendors, because otherwise, when I send the deliveries to the client is going to send them back to me angry, saying, I told you to do this and you haven't done it. So it's as uncomfortable for you as it is for me as a PM. Because also bear in mind that all the instructions, when I receive the files back during my QA, I need to check on them.
yeah yeah
So you have the instructions to follow, but I have the instructions to check.
And this is good about, I think, this podcast is that we show the life, the situation behind the scene, because I know we feel that frustration as vendors, as freelancers. We feel it. We see a lot of things. We say, no, I'm sure the PM hates me. I'm sure the PM has something against me. Maybe because sometimes even if they change the PMs, there is a translator that is the main translator, and you have another PM, and they have sent even more emails or even more instruction, and they feel that, oh, I'm sure the new PM hates me and has something against translators. But I think that, as you said, there is much more going on behind the scenes. So yeah.
Yeah. And that's why PMs really don't like it when you don't follow the instructions we send. Because we are not sending them because we are bored and we need to tell you like a bunch of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So we need to check on them, and if you haven't followed the instructions, then during my QA I'm gonna notice. Therefore, I'm gonna send back the job to you, and that's wasting time for everyone.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
yeah.
No, I see your point. I think we still no need to work on the communication part. Yeah,
Yes.
and I think it will be a good future episode to r- to highlight things that we don't say now between a PM and a vendor, a freelancer, and maybe we should start talking about them because we change. The industry changed a lot, and there are new things. And I also said that LSPs, PMs are getting closer. They recommend freelancer. They talk freely about the freelancer that they have in their team. Before we didn't have that. Everything was under the the carpet, something like that. But we still have issues like, for example, unrealistic rates for rush jobs. Sometimes we receive jobs that with very strict or very urgent deadlines, but the rate is the same. um, I have LSPs that have the rush rates, but I also know LSPs that they are against rush rates. This is a thing that I don't understand. Why they don't allow this marge of understanding when it comes to rush jobs? Really?
Yeah. You know that LSPs, there are like many LSPs out there with different philosophies and different ethics. Normally, when an LSP doesn't want to pay for a rushed job, it's either because they are not charging the client for that, or their profit is not good enough, so they can't afford to pay rush rate. So it's either one. It's bad in any case, because if you have a rush job, you should let the client know, okay, this has a surcharge of whatever you want to charge. I know normally it ranges between 20 and 30%. So if you don't charge the client, it's your responsibility as a company. You shouldn't avoid paying the vendor for the rush rate. However, as PMs, we need to maintain our margins. Sometimes that's also part of our KPIs as PMs. We need to have good margins because otherwise we get in trouble. So if you don't charge the client, then you can't pay the translator.
Yeah. There is a logic there. There is a logic there. And again, I think all it comes to communication and really saying, for example, if you have been working with this LSP for years, maybe it's okay. But if this is something, a new LSP, and they just want to propose rush jobs, but for a standard rate, it's up to you to decide, you know.
Exactly. It's up to you as a vendor to decide as well. But I think also the thing about rush jobs, it's like when you go, I don't know if it's the same in Algeria, but in Spain here, when you go to the fruit shop, to the grocery shop, and you buy, I don't know, fruit and vegetables and whatever, and you are more or less a standard, not standard, a recurrent client, they normally give you a bunch of parsley for free.
Yeah, à la boulangerie, boucherie aussi. Yes, I see what you're saying.
As a gift,
Yes,
just because you bought there, no?
yeah.
So I have to say that if you have an account as a freelancer, if you have an account that is recurring, that sends you jobs on an ongoing basis, it's nice to give back also a little bit. So if they send you a rush job every once in a while, but they send you jobs that are good, they pay you on time and they treat you well, I don't see the reason why you should say, please pay for my rush rate anyway. I understand why you do it, but I think sometimes you also need to do some concessions.
I agree with you, especially if you know the content, if you know the tool, if you know the team, yeah, I agree. And it's acceptable. It's 100% okay. Maybe another thing that it's difficult to understand sometimes, it's when you start with a new client, maybe from an old LSP, but a new client or maybe a new LSP is when they are starting sending jobs without context, or maybe they are treating you like, just translate, just do the job. And that's where that's the moment when you feel a bit they don't respect you. I don't know how
Yeah.
how to be. Yeah. So, and it can also happen from PMs and even LSPs that you have been working with them for years, but they change the client and they expect you to do the same thing as you did before, but with new content. So I don't
Mm.
know. There are some
Yeah,
things.
that sucks. But
Yeah.
it's the same when PMs receive a job and there is no context. It's just like a file. I need this translation into 4 languages. Please do it. And that's the message you get from the client.
Mm.
Again, it's the LSP policy. Some LSPs they are okay with you going back to the client and asking questions. Some other companies they don't like that, and they say just do as told and that's it. So the PM can't really give you any more context, no. And some companies or some PMs they are really busy, so they just want to get the project out and they don't even think about it sometimes. That's also a reality because they are that busy that they just need to take it out and that's it. So if they don't receive the information, they don't chase for it. I don't know if it makes sense.
It makes sense, yes, but when you don't have context, when you translate, okay, as you did for the other clients of the LSP, or I don't know, and there maybe you receive feedback one day, and the feedback will be not so okay, and will I blame the PM for the lack of context? Will I say it's because of you? I have never sent an email like that.
No, but feedback is not about blame. Feedback is just about something that needs changing or something that is better for the future. It's not blaming. It's not it's not unless it's really bad, obviously. But if it's just like a regular round of feedback, I don't take it as something bad. It's just that
No,
there are some things that need to be improved.
exactly, no, but I was saying, for example, the client sends you the content to translate, okay? You send it to the vendor, to the freelancer, but we didn't have the context. We didn't have more information, okay? So I send you back the translation. You send it to the client. Then the client has a internal reviewer, has
Mm.
someone who speaks French or Romanian or Spanish, Italian, and double checks the translation, the localization, and they are coming back to you with the feedback. You will send the feedback to the freelancer, and then the freelancer will say, yes, I did my job, I did the best I can, but I didn't have the context. Will you as a PM let the client know that they didn't have enough context?
It depends. If the
That's
client,
sincere, that's sincere. That's a good answer.
yeah, it really depends. If the client is a client that is willing to make a change, that is willing to collaborate with you, then I would say, yeah, okay, thank you for the feedback. Next time, it would be better if you can share some context with us so that we avoid this kind of issues. That's one type of client.
Okay.
Another type of client is the client that just wants a translation and they don't really care that much about anything else. And they don't have the means nor the time to send you more things. So even if you say to them, okay, next time, if you can, please share some context with us, blah, 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 there are some clients that are going to take it as a blame. As,
Oh my.
yes, yes.
Okay. I
So
see.
if you think the client is going to get defensive, then you don't say it because what's the need? You know, the translator know, everyone knows that the context is needed, but you don't want a dispute.
So it actually, the PM is between the client and the vendor. It's
Of
like
course,
a
always.
buffer, a buffer. Yes, I see that. But maybe to be more proactive, because the PM has experience with other clients, has experience. The PM knows the vendor's questions. Maybe they ask for more context before sending the content to the vendor. No, isn't?
Sometimes, if you have the time, yeah, you can do it. If you know the client and you know that the client is willing to give you the context, yeah. But as I said, there are some clients that they don't care. And they
Okay.
just tell you, I don't have anything else. I just have this.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't know. That's a tricky one. But one thing that, for example, I really don't like is I always say that asking questions is good. You can always ask, and asking is for free. However, if I have a job that I need to place
Mhm.
and I get a translator coming back to me saying, "Oh, can you extend the deadline?" And I say, "Yeah, I can do it. Is this day okay for you?" "Yeah, it is." "Okay, what's the rate? Where are you gonna pay me?" And then another email. "No, but whatever we have in our database, that's the rate, because that's what normally LSPs do." "Oh, okay. Well, I can do it for this." So how many emails have we exchanged already? 5? 4? So negotiating is good as long as it's effective. If you are making me waste my time, because obviously, say 5 emails, but emails don't get response immediately. So say how long? Half an hour to respond each email? Okay, that's already 2 hours and a half of my time trying to place one job. That's not
logical.
Not
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to negotiate, try to negotiate everything in 2-3 email stops.
There are still a lot of things. Maybe as a last thing that I don't like in our job is free work. I know colleagues are complaining about that, and I know it's a sensible topic. One thing that I change over the years is, for example, I have a rate for the LSP, I have a rate for the clients, because the work frame is different, the tools are different, etc. But one thing I implemented in my own mindset, it's follow-up. I'm always available for follow-up. And I had someone asking me, "But follow-up means free work." No, it doesn't mean free work. And let me tell you about it. It's because when you have the mindset of follow-up, maybe you will receive a request to review something, but not for every project. But when you let the PM know that you are open to follow up, you are open to review something for them, maybe the final design, sometimes it's paid, sometimes not, you will be considered for other projects. I don't know if it's bad, I don't know if I'm doing it correct, but I realized that if you are open to go beyond and be of assistance and check something from time to time, not every day, you will be considered a reliable freelancer. I'm not saying that you have to give 2 hours of your work every day or for every project, but it happens that sometimes you have to, I don't know, do a quick checkup. But again, if you are feeling up to it, if you want it, if we are different. This is what I'm trying to say to all my colleagues. You do you. You are free to do as you wish. If you don't like this concept of follow up or be available for certain clients, because I'm not available for all the clients. I have my close PMs, I have my close LSPs, and I'm always available for them. For the others, they are just occasional projects. So it's up to you. You do you. But at the end of the day, I think the aim is to be considered as a reliable PM. I know that I have LSPs. When they send me a task, they know I will confirm them. They know I will deliver before the deadline, and I know that if they need a follow-up, I will do it. So I don't like free work, but I understand also that sometimes I don't know.
Yeah.
What's your intake
As I
about
said
that?
before, this is the bunch of parsley that you get in grocery shops.
Yeah.
Some of them decide to give it, some of them decide not to give it. It's nice when you receive it, and it's not something that we expect, but if we don't get it, for example, if I ask like, okay, can you please do a quick check on this, and I get a no as an answer from one of my usual vendors, I would be disappointed. And it's the same concept. If you go to buy fruits and you know that you will get your bunch of parsley and you want it, if you don't get it, you're not going to say anything, but you get disappointed.
True.
So
True.
it's the same.
You can froze it even if you don't need it. You can wash it, cut it, and you put it in the freezer, and you use it later.
Yes, but it doesn't. The example doesn't work here. So
I always like to see the positive part of everything.
Yeah, okay, so we didn't cover the 10 things, but I think we covered a lot. And I think the most important thing is that even though we sometimes are on the opposite, we are opposites because obviously the vendor interests and the PM interest conflict. I think the important thing is to understand that we are working for the same goal and to talk about these type of things. And that's why we believe this podcast is so important to understand both perspectives. So let us know, is there anything else that you really hate about your vendors as a PM or that you hate about PMs being a vendor? Let us know in the comments.
Exactly. And thank you for listening, and stay tuned for another episode. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
What you've heard are just our personal opinions. We by no means intend to impose our personal views on anyone. Feel free to disagree, throw tomatoes at us, or just drop a comment to let us know. Thank you!